all the nurses just dive upon her. Something's seriously wrong.
I can hear him praying.
Lisa's like, ha, ha, ha. Well, I think the epidural helps. I just can't stay conscious during the birth of my children. So, hey guys, welcome to our channel. We're the Gonzales gang.
Gang.
Or welcome back if you're one of our many lovely subscribers.
Loyal. Soil.
Zachariah is our 4-year-old. He's taking a nap right now.
Right behind
This is our new baby. This is our new son, Caleb. Give him a kiss. And we're going to be going over our birth story right now.
For Caleb.
If you want to see the birth story for Zachariah where I passed out and I had my legs up on the couch while Lisa was pushing in pain, I'll put that in the description. It's a pretty funny story. This one's kind of funny too. I don't want to give too much away, but I just can't stay conscious during the birth of my children. So I'll just lead with that. Thank you everybody, obviously, who's congratulated us on our new addition, and everybody's been very, very nice and kind and supportive, and we appreciate you guys. So if you haven't seen the birth vlog, that's our previous video. I'll put that in the description too, or on a card or something. So make sure you go watch all those videos. But today, story time, birth story.
Caleb's birth story.
Caleb's birth story.
Where do we start?
We start at the beginning. We had all right, and then he... Why don't we start, I don't know, like the week or the 2 weeks leading up to it. By the way, we have clouds coming in and out, so if the color changes, whatever. This is a real vlog, all right? I mean, a real video. All right, go ahead.
So for weeks, I am not uncomfortable anymore. I had been very uncomfortable. Every time we would go to the doctors, I would ask, like, when can I get induced?
Yeah.
What can we do to, speed this process up? And so... let's see, I had him at 38 weeks and 5 days, so this was our 38 week.
Yeah, without being induced.
Without being induced.
Lisa just wanted to be induced because she was so uncomfortable, and they said you can't be induced until 39 weeks.
July 28th, that was the plan, was from the get-go. Yeah. That was my exit date, or his exit date. I was like, I am not going to 40 weeks. I will get to 39 weeks, and that is the eviction date. But at 36 weeks, I got checked, and I was at 3 centimeters dilated. At 37 weeks, I was 4 centimeters dilated, and then at our 38 week and 5 day appointment, I was still 4 centimeters dilated. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that's still almost halfway.
Yeah.
Can I just go across the hall to the hospital? The answer was no. Legally, they can't induce you unless there's a medical reason why before 39 weeks. Yeah. So anyway, 38 and 5 days.
Yeah, we had a doctor's appointment. We're at this point, if you've ever been pregnant before, I guess toward the end you go once a week.
Yeah.
Instead of every month or every 2 weeks or whatever. So we were going every week. And we had our appointment. Lisa was 38 and a half weeks. And
nobody thought I was still going to be pregnant at this point.
Yeah, because the last appointment, the doctor was like, I don't think you'll make it to next week because you're already 4 centimeters or whatever.
There I was.
And there you were. They stripped your membranes.
Mm-hmm. Without going into detail of what it is to get your membrane stripped. If you get your membranes stripped or you get a membrane sweep, it has a 50% chance of putting you into labor within 48 hours of that process.
Yeah.
So our doctor was like, I'm going to do this, go home, do what you did to get the baby in there, and
try to get the labor going. Yeah.
Get the labor going.
Yeah. So we left the doctor's office.
I told her to give us 15 minutes. She laughed.
Yeah.
And she was like, go home.
We went to lunch afterwards because we'll usually go to lunch, and contractions ensued. Lisa started having contractions. Now, she always has contractions.
Yeah.
Like the whole pregnancy she had them, but they were more painful, more getting closer together. Mm-hmm. And so we were kind of like, all right, well, let's stay close because the doctor is about 35 minutes away from our house, with the hospital as well. So we figured let's just have lunch, see if they continue. They did continue.
They were about, when we left the doctor's office, they were 12 to 15 minutes apart, which was what they were before we even got to the doctors. So they were about 12 to 15 minutes apart. And then toward the end of our lunch, they were anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes apart. And I was like, well, maybe it's just because, she stripped my membranes. Maybe it's just because she stripped my membranes. I don't know. It didn't feel like I was in labor necessarily because we had been through this before with Zachariah. I had prodromal labor. And so I was just kind of like, okay, I was prepared for them to stop within the hour, to be honest.
We went to get coffee just to stretch it out because our doctor did say 5 minutes apart, 5 to 7 minutes apart for an hour, come in regardless.
Yeah.
So which they were. They pretty much stayed between 3 and 7 minutes for about an hour. So we're like, bam. We went back to the hospital, went in, and we're like, hey, contractions, you know.
And they were kind of like asking, well, do they hurt? And I said, well, every third one at this point was like, I had to breathe through it. I had to stop what I was doing. So like 2 out of the 3, not so much. But that third one would be like, ooh,
yeah,
I don't think we should go home.
Right. I know what you're thinking. Get to the part where Ian passes out, and we're getting there. I promise we're getting there. So we get admitted. We get admitted to a room.
Triage.
A triage from 1985 with VHS tape and a tiny TV and crazy drapes. No, the hospital is under construction, so the postpartum rooms were pretty much done and brand new, but the labor and delivery rooms were still very old.
Very old. I think. Do we have a picture?
Yeah, I'll show a picture. It was in our video too, but I'll show a little clip of it right now. But it was kind of dark and it was kind of nice because it wasn't too bright. It was like, it was like, let's get this baby out and get to a nice room. We did have to wait outside for them to finish cleaning it because it was so busy that day. Every woman in the surrounding area decided to have a baby that day. They were like, we're so busy. Everybody's having babies today.
Yeah. 3 women within 30 minutes, I guess, walked in.
Which is a lot for that hospital.
Yeah.
So we get in the room, Liesl gets hooked up to the NST, the non-stress test, where they basically just measure the baby's heartbeat during contractions. Is that what it is?
And a time to see how my contractions are, how far apart they are.
Yeah.
Get checked. I'm still 4 centimeters. And then the plan was to monitor me for a couple of hours, see if I progressed, and then to at that point decide if I was actually going to be admitted.
Yeah, because if she didn't progress, we would have to go back home. At this point, it was probably 3-ish o'clock.
Yeah.
So Liesl was hooked up to this thing for an hour to 2 hours. They came back in and checked. Was it after the 2-hour mark that she was like, I think you're fine?
No. She said that my cervix had moved forward, but other than that, I was still at a 4. If you're not 39 weeks, they can't do anything to help you progress into labor. So they couldn't break my water. They couldn't give me Pitocin. They can't do anything to make your body go into labor. She said, it looks like you're in early labor, which means it could be a couple of hours. It could be a few days.
Yeah.
So she's like, let me call the doctor, see if we can keep you to monitor you for an extra couple of hours.
Right.
And then after that, we'll make the decision. And I'm like...
Yeah. Luckily, they did.
Yeah.
They did. We stayed there for another couple hours. And then when the shift change came, we got the coolest nurse ever. She was so awesome.
She was.
And she really wanted us to get admitted and to get the process going. Because she was like, I feel like if I send you home, you're going to be back here in a couple hours anyway. So she was trying to help you out. And
she just had twins.
So she's still fresh in the baby, having phase. So she checked you. It had been 3.5 hours we've been there at this point. And she was like, I think I'd call you a 5. And we're like, yes. So we got to stay and be admitted. I feel like she did you a solid there.
She did us a solid.
But it worked out.
Yeah.
Because then the painful contractions came.
Well,
Liesl was screaming and cussing. No, just kidding. She wasn't.
I was like, I don't remember that.
No, she wasn't. She was just breathing heavy. Show them how you breathe.
I don't remember.
Show them. Just do it. Pretend like you're in pain. The contractions started coming. We were trying to watch them like Ted Lasso or something.
Oh yeah, because
she's like, turn it off. I can't focus on
I couldn't
this.
at that point, and that was before they broke my water.
Yeah. Okay, now at this point, remind me, did they break the water or did they give you the epidural first? They broke the water. Okay.
But literally, the anesthesiologist was like right outside.
She was ready because they were like, "Are you gonna want?" I
was like, "Yes."
You're like, give me the epidural. Give me 3 of them. I don't care. I need it now. So they broke your water.
Yeah.
It was probably around 7 o'clock at this point, p.m.
7:30.
7:30 p.m. Broke the water.
Anesthesiologist
then gave you the thing. What is it called again? I'm sorry. Epidural. And then you started having very, very painful contractions.
It was before the epidural because 10 minutes after I got the epidural, I was sitting pretty.
Yeah.
I think at 8, I could start to really feel the contractions happening again. So I got what they call a little booster.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a centimeter an hour at that point, which I feel like is pretty fast.
Faster compared than Zachariah's.
Zachariah was 20 hours.
Ever. Just she wouldn't progress. And we're like, let's go. We're tired. We're so tired. No. But anyways, yeah, by about 11 o'clock, they were like, okay, I think you're full. What do they say? You're fully or you're full or fully?
Complete.
You're complete.
You're complete.
You're complete. And I was like, she completes me too. That's what I said. I said that to the nurse. And she was like, you guys are so romantic. I didn't say that. She didn't say that. I can't lie. By the way, they get the doctor. They start rounding the troops to come in and start preparing to deliver a baby. Our doctor was not available that night. Anyway, she was still in town, but we got another doctor who was very cool.
Very cool. Same
clinic
group.
Yeah. If you can hear Zachariah screaming and singing in the background, he's taking a nap right now. Yeah, I'm taking a nap. So everybody comes. They get around. They bring the whole cart of all sorts of sterilized stuff and utensils and napkins. It's not a buffet, like things and like towels and whatever they get
to clean the baby, to clean me up.
Exactly, yeah. And as they're still kind of getting prepared, they pull back to look at Liesel and they're like, "Oh my gosh, his head is falling out." And she's like, what?
Which I could feel.
Yeah, because Liesel had told me like 10 minutes prior, like, he's way down. I can feel he's like right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? Okay, well, they're coming. You're going to push. It's all good. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's right. Look at his head. Okay, come on, everybody, let's go. And they're like, stop, don't laugh. And of course, when somebody says don't laugh, you want to laugh.
I'm laughing.
So Liesel's like, ha, ha, ha. Well, I think the epidural helps. He's falling out and you're laughing.
Well, before the doctor got in there, with every contraction, I could feel a little more amniotic fluid come out. So I'm like, he's literally right there.
Yeah.
But then as soon as like she pulled up the blanket to check, like I could feel him dropping.
Yeah, he was there.
Right.
His head was like coming out, and so like, oh my gosh, don't laugh, Evelyn. So they were trying to gather everybody. Now I had told them before that I did pass out with Zachariah, but it was because I looked. I wanted to watch The Miracle of Life. I watched it. I passed out. And that was it. So they said, oh, no, Dad. You're going to sit down for this one. Yeah. And I said, no, but I'm not going to look this time. I'm going to stay right up here. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to be eye contact. And they're like, nope, you got to sit down. So I was sitting down at Liesel's bedside. So her head is here.
He's on my left.
The legs are here. The doctor's here. And the baby's coming out that way. So I'm here. I'm sitting down. I'm like, oh, beautiful. Love you. It's going to be amazing.
Did they ask me if I wanted a mirror? And I shot them down?
They did.
I was like, absolutely.
Way earlier. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to see that. And so I was already sitting down. They all gather around. I had a nurse right here, a nurse right there, a nurse back there, and the doctor right here retrieving. They're like, okay, here we go. We're going to do this on this next contraction. And they're like, ready, push. And so, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you can do this. And this is amazing. And so she's pushing. 3
pushes and he's basically out.
He's basically out. And then all of a sudden the mood changes and the doctor, what'd she say? She said something, we got to shoulder something. Come on, boom, boom. And everybody literally just jumps in there. The doctor jumps on top, does a box jump. Do you know what a box jump looks like? She does a box jump onto the table. She's on Liesel. All the nurses just dive upon her, and she's like, "Don't stop pushing! Don't stop! Push now! Push now! Push now! Don't stop!" And they're all panicking. Yeah. Maybe they're not well, they're keeping composed, but I'm just sitting there praying because I'm like, something's seriously wrong.
I can hear him praying. The doctor had asked one nurse to call for backup or something. So I've got the doctor that's basically on top of me. I've got 2 other nurses pushing on either side of like my uterus. Mind you, I had no idea what this meant. Like I didn't really understand or comprehend any of what was going on. I was just pushing.
You were drugged up and pushing. That's all.
Okay, he's stuck. So you guys are going to help push him out.
Yeah, so you just get
pushing him
exactly,
out.
Yeah.
But I had no idea like the severity of
I'm looking in their eyes like so what's happening right now? Is everything okay? And it wasn't for a minute. For a minute there. I guess he got stuck in a way that it's like pretty rare, only 1% happens.
Yeah,
and
like less than 1%.
And if they don't get him out, he could have brain damage, the airways blocked, the umbilical cord's pinched, something they could have pushed him back up and had to do a C-section, right? And so when they finally got him out and everybody's like, okay, we're good, we got him, everybody's clapping.
Yeah.
Oh, they bring him out, they put him on Liesel's chest. I'm just like, oh, thank God.
All of this is happening from start of push to getting him out within 3-4 minutes max.
Yeah.
Because everything happened in one contraction. So I mean 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes max. So I'm not gonna hit him. 3 to 4 minutes max. So I'm just here like, wow, I pushed my baby out in 3 or 4 minutes. This is great. Had no idea what was going on still. Once they, he didn't cry initially. And so like at that point I was still kind of like, I can see him moving, so I know he's okay. I don't really know like what had happened other than I just needed to get him out like ASAP. And then, they're cleaning him up. The doctor comes over, or nurse comes over? Our doctor comes over.
I don't remember. I was out.
He's like, okay, well, you had a 60, he's out.
I was already passed out.
You had a 60-second shoulder dystocia, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Again, didn't look it up until the next day. He's still passed out. They're like, Dad, are you okay? Dad, are you okay? And I'm like looking, and I'm like, are you okay? Yeah, no. Asked if he wanted to cut the cord. You said no. And that's when I knew that something was seriously wrong.
I wanted to. I just couldn't, because I was sitting down and I think my hand was here. And every time I was like in the pass out process, and I looked up and I wanted to, and I'm like, no, I can't. I'm about to. And then I was just out. Smelling
salts. They had to get him a cold rag. I think, did they get you juice and a popsicle?
Okay, not a popsicle, all right. Jeez. But yes, juice. When I came to, eventually, because I had the smelling salts, they had placed wet towels on my neck. I had juices and water next to me. And yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm still delivering the placenta.
And I'm feeling so like, oh man, I missed everything. I missed it because with Zachariah, I cut the cord. I went over, I took videos of him like getting weighed and stuff. But luckily the nurses took my phone to like take some video and stuff. But it was worse than the first time. But I think it was because I was so stressed. And then the relief just made me pass all the way out.
And I still had no idea what was really happening. I was just like, he passed out again. Yeah. This time worse.
Oh man, it is what it is. All right. You know what? My goal for the next one, we're going for Irish twins, by the way. My goal for the next one is to not pass out. So I ate a bunch of food.
You did.
Thinking that last time I passed out because I was dehydrated and hungry. It was just because I don't know.
Maybe with the next one, I won't have such a stressful birth. Apparently, I can't have like just normal, like we're going to the hospital, we're going to deliver a baby.
Right.
Birth.
Yeah. But he's here. He's healthy. Everything was fine. We did get into a nice We did get into a nice postpartum room, a new one. He slept. We all were able to sleep a little bit. Yeah. Like it was really, really nice.
Oh, we should give you guys a timeline. Okay, so 7:30, water broken.
Yes.
We're going like a centimeter about every hour.
Yeah.
He was born at 11:42 p.m. that night. So
July 26th. Not June 26th like I accidentally wrote on our vlog. It's July 26th. Yeah.
11:42 p.m. 7 pounds, 4 ounces, 19 and a half inches long.
Yes. Yep. It was eventful and it was exciting. But it was awesome. And here he is. And he was great. We spent 2 days at the hospital.
Yeah.
Recovering. More like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Because he was born almost at midnight on Thursday. So we got moved into postpartum at like 2 a.m. on Friday. And so we had all of Friday and then we left Saturday afternoon. So
yeah. We didn't leave Saturday afternoon. We left Friday. Wednesday at 11:40.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Wednesday, July 26th at 11:42, he was born. 2 a.m. Thursday, we get moved to our postpartum room. And then Friday afternoon around like 3 o'clock, we got discharged.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Because I thought Saturday.
No, you're right. Well. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We're going to get it right in one of these videos.
We're tired. Give us some slack. We're new parents. We're not new parents. We're just tired parents. All right. That's all. We're just, newborns in the house. But is there anything else that we should talk about? That
Zach came to visit.
Oh, which was awesome. He was just waiting. He was bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Waiting for his brother to be born. And obviously, if you saw the vlog, you know, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, the previous video. When Zachariah goes to meet Caleb and he just wants to hold him and hug him and kiss him and very excited to have a little brother.
All things considered, I would say physically a very smooth delivery. All things considered.
Yeah, for you.
For me.
Just kidding. Yeah, you were way better this time than the first time.
I mean, you can't beat a 3-minute delivery.
I know, it's kind of nice. And about a 4-hour labor, 3-minute delivery.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. Enough time to get the epidural, you know, so it wasn't like you went into labor and you had him, but and then just push him out quickly. So, you know.
Can't complain. I don't know if I can beat that. Because Zachariah was 9 minutes. 9 minutes of pushing. 9 minutes of pushing, and he was out. Caleb was 3 minutes. I don't know if you can go any faster.
I don't know.
Without like literally falling out.
We'll go for the record. Did I mention Irish twins?
No.
Just think about it. Just consider it. Just consider it. You know, get the next one out.
Guys, I was so miserable this pregnancy.
Yeah, she was.
Very miserable.
She was. But we cheered you up, right? We kept you happy. So anyways, birth story.
That's our birth story. All right, we're going to wrap this up.
He's saying it so loud. Anyway.
He's calling you.
Oh, he's calling me.
Let's end this.
My firstborn is calling me. Guys, this is our son Caleb. Isn't he cute? That's our birth story. Thanks for watching. Go watch our vlog. Go watch the first birth story. And come along on this journey with us. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. And we welcome you with open arms. We appreciate you guys. And
be blessed.
Don't stress.
And we'll all see you in the next video.